Hey there, today God is talking about the friction within a particular transition that's happening now. I'm going to tell you a quick Bible story that I believe that many of you will find yourselves in and talk about how it applies to you today and what you need to do to prepare today. So Solomon had a brother named Adonijah. Adonijah, interestingly enough, was born during that conflict between Saul and David. Now, that's a different kind of transition between a current king and a future king. Adonijah proclaimed himself as king while David, their father, was on his deathbed. He'd amassed an entourage and chariots in preparation for this self-proclaimed kingship. Adonijah was going to usurp the throne. Meanwhile, Prophet Nathan and Bathsheba are going back to David saying, "Hey, Adonijah is trying to take the throne. You promised to Solomon. What's going on here?" Adonijah had left all of these people out of his self-coronation that he had set up with sacrifices and all of this to make himself king. The key people that were left out would kind of look like enemies of the state, and they feared for their lives. Once David heard all of this, he made Solomon king and used the people that were left out of Adonijah's ceremony to usher Solomon to the throne, to anoint him, to do the sacrifices, all that it would require. Once Adonijah and his entourage heard that Solomon had taken the throne, they scattered. They were afraid. Adonijah clung to the altar for mercy. And Solomon actually forgave Adonijah. Until this, Adonijah asked for one of King David's previous concubines. It seems like a small thing, but it's actually not a small thing. Back then, whoever took the king's concubines would be considered the king. It was another way to usurp the throne. That's the way that Solomon interpreted this. And we had Adonijah killed. Now, I want to highlight that Adonijah and Solomon are brothers. There are people who you would least expect that will try to usurp the place of authority the Lord has for you. And there's friction that will come. I was going to say, prepare your hearts now for what will happen later, but the word in my spirit is now. Many of you are seeing this and will see this now. Prepare your heart for the friction. Prepare your heart for the transition, and in some cases, prepare your heart for the betrayal. Know that the efforts of your adversary would not keep you from sitting in your rightful position. Praise God. Talk soon.